I worked at a luxury department store for 5 years. What happened on Black Friday still haunts my dreams. Have you ever witnessed something so bizarre that years later you still question if it actually happened? During my 5 years in luxury retail, I collected enough strange customer stories to fill a book, but one Black Friday incident stands out as truly unbelievable. I was working at an upscale department store in Manhattan, the kind with marble floors, personal shoppers, and 5,000 handbags displayed like museum pieces. Black Friday, there wasn't the chaotic door-busting you'd see at big box stores. Our clientele expected elegance, even during sales events. That particular Black Friday, I was stationed in designer accessories, a prime location since luxury handbags were marked down just enough 15 to create excitement without diminishing exclusivity. By noon, we were busy, but not overwhelmed. Then she arrived, a woman in her 60s, wearing a full-length mink coat, diamond earrings that caught the light with every movement, and carrying what appeared to be an identical twin of our most expensive Birkin bag. She approached my counter and placed her Birkin next to our display model. "I'd like to return this," she said, sliding it toward me. I examined both bags. They were identical, same rare color, same hardware, same everything. Our store had received only 2 of this particular model, and I distinctly remembered selling one 3 days earlier to a celebrity's assistant. The other was still on display. "Do you have a receipt?" I asked. "I lost it," she replied smoothly, "but I purchased it here last week. You can look it up under my account." I typed her name into our system. She was indeed a regular customer with a history of 5-figure purchases, but there was no record of this particular bag. I explained this to her politely. "Check again," she insisted. "Perhaps under my husband's name." I did. "Nothing." "Well," she sighed dramatically. "I definitely bought it here. I want to return it." Something felt off. I excused myself to speak with my manager, who immediately recognized the woman as a high-value client. She whispered, "Just process the return. We don't want to lose her business." As I reluctantly began the return process, our loss prevention manager happened to walk by. He glanced at the 2 identical bags and froze. "Where did that bag come from?" he asked sharply, pointing to the one the woman had brought in. "I purchased it here," she replied with perfect confidence. "That's impossible," he said. "This particular model we only received 2 in the entire country. One is on our display, and one was sold to a specific client, who I personally helped last week." The woman's expression didn't change. "Well, perhaps I bought it in Paris then. The Paris exclusive has different hardware," our loss prevention manager countered. "And this bag has our store's specific inventory tag embedded in the lining." That's when things got weird. Without missing a beat, the woman picked up her coat and bag and said, "I just remembered I have a lunch reservation. I'll come back later." As she turned to leave, something fell from her coat pocket, a small professional-grade tool used to remove security tags. Our loss prevention manager moved quickly to block her exit, speaking quietly into his radio when moments 2 plainclothes security officers appeared. What followed was surreal. The investigation revealed she had walked into our store somehow, swapped our display bag with a remarkably convincing fake, the one she was returning, and was attempting to get $22,000 in store credit for essentially stealing our own merchandise. Even more shocking, when police ran her information, they discovered she was the wife of a prominent neurosurgeon, lived in a $4 million home on the Upper East Side, and had absolutely no financial need to commit retail fraud. When questioned why she did it, she simply said she was banned from our store, but her husband's attorney ensured no charges were filed. I later heard this wasn't her first time. She'd successfully pulled similar schemes at 3 other luxury retailers. 2 years later, I spotted her shopping at Bergdorf Goodman, like nothing had happened, casually examining a display of Mesa bags. The most disturbing part wasn't the elaborate scam, or even her lack of consequences. It was the perfect calm in her eyes throughout the entire ordeal, like this was just an ordinary Tuesday afternoon activity for her. Sometimes I wonder how many returned luxury items in circulation were actually clever fakes, swapped by people who, unlike our mink-coated con artist, never got caught. In retail, the strangest stories aren't about the people who need to steal, they're about the people who choose to, simply because they can.